Greetings and welcome to episode 60 of my Empire Total War Darth mod Russia campaign. And this, my friends, how we left it last time, where we have finally established a good foothold here in the New World. We were without any significant presence here in the New World for many years, but the Council has advised and has put forward some wonderful proposals of how we should sort of, put a Russian stamp firmly in the New World here, a firm presence here in the New World. And of course the main sort of thrust of those proposals was to first capture the Guyanas, as it were, French and Dutch Guyana, which we did, then move on to take the Pirate Islands, which we've also done. I think the last was Punda here. As you can see, we do have a formidable army here which has taken Punda, which is the last bastion of a pirate stronghold here. We've also got significant fleets. Again, the proposals to move these fleets into the New World, just to add that level of security which we really do need here. As you can see, we're still stretched. The islands aren't fully secured by sort of full stack armies, as it were, but we do have enough forces here, enough fleets in proximity here to our main holdings. We are bringing in a huge amount of money here. As you can see here, this is bringing 11,520 just from here, and as you can see, we're already trading with Britain, Sweden and Spain here as well. Spain being a staunch ally of ours, Britain, which is an absolute behemoth here. I mean, look at this, it is an absolute titan. It has pretty much all of North continental US. It also has Canada under its grip, apart from Agvatuk here, which is under the Inuit nation's control here. We did take, as a final sort of presence stamp, should we say here, we did take Newfoundland. We do have again a formidable army here in Newfoundland. Many of the council saying that we should look to take Agvatuk here, so we sort of secure this flank here, as it were, this sort of eastern flank here, the seaboard here, also giving us pretty much de facto control here of the sort of the theatre, moving into Europe here from Iceland, so moving from the Atlantic into the European theatre here, into Iceland. So that's what we're going to look at doing. But as you can see, they do have significant forces here, the Inuits, and do not be sort of misled here, my friends, just looking at they might just be simple melee troops. These are the finest fighters, hand-to-hand fighters in the world, bar none. They are absolutely magnificent fighters, they really are, and some of them are absolutely brutal in the fight. So we're going to have to tailor an army, or armies should I say, to really take on the Inuits. They sort of, a while ago I developed a strategy to sort of deal with the Inuits, to deal with the natives, Indians should I say, that you have to have a sort of almost a certain composition to be able to deal with them. I know that we can just simply smash them out of the way here with using an overwhelming firepower, but two guns here fire is not going to really cut it here. We do need to have a specific composition of army to deal with what is a combat, sort of melee, combat heavy army, and also they're able to sneak upon you. They are able to blend in with the sort of the land, and you will not know they're even on top of you until they're right next to you. So it really is important that we do have that composition absolutely spot on there. But you can see we do now control a good swathe in the Caribbean. We've got, as I said, French and Dutch Guyana here, bringing in nearly 6,000 here. We've got 3,840 just from Punda itself. Again, 1,920 from Trinidad and Tobago. We have 3,840 from Barbados here, which is Martinique. And then we have, last but not least, 1,920 here from Antigua. So as you can see, we are bringing in some wonderful income here. Spain is being pushed very aggressively here by Britain, incredibly aggressively. As you can see here, they hold New Mexico up here, but I think it's only a matter of time before Britain makes that final push and maybe tries to push them out of South America in its entirety. Now we can't step into this fight here with Britain because the sheer magnitude of their forces available to them here is significant. Also, the ability for them to reinforce quickly is going to prove quite a problem for us if we went to war with Britain. Well, of course, we could strike the homeland here, as you can see here, Britain's homeland, but again, I would probably harbour a bet that they do have some exceptional troops here, unless they're weakened here. We are actually in the process of just checking what's in Edinburgh. Gentlemen, nothing here in Edinburgh at all. I believe we were just checking to gather that intelligence to make sure that if we did have to strike against Britain, it's the heart of Britain, Britain itself, that we weren't going to be walking into sort of a bear trap, as it were, where they have massive amounts of forces we're completely unaware of. Mind you, they do have some, I think, got pikemen as well, which can be a menace. Now, we're also gearing towards war with Persia. Now, the Council has been pushing for war with Persia for many, many years. And the time is almost right for us to strike, my friends. We have invested considerable amounts of our military resources, and indeed our economy is geared towards this fight here with the Persians. As you can see, Isfahan itself is bringing exempted from tax, which means they've got a problem with rebels here. Now that could really fall into our hands here. They do have a lot of Kubashi forces here and some heavy artillery. They do have a minimal force here, Falahin musketeers, some Kubashi, but the army here is a hardened and battle-hardened army here. As you can see, they've even got a Hadith here. I mean, look at that charge bonus. That is absolutely brutal. But as you can see, we have mustered together 2 army groups. Now, some of them do need just to be altered here. We've got to add a few more troops in here. I think what we do have still being recruited here, a great swathe here of infantry being recruited. We do have a singular army here standing by here. And again, there are options for promotions, my friends. If you wish promotions, please let me know. I will, of course, do my utmost to make sure that happens. Now, the point of this army here is to strike and maybe be able to hit Azerbaijan here. Although Azerbaijan seems to be covered very, very well here. Oh my goodness me, yeah, that is a powerful force there in Azerbaijan. As you can see, we are moving in another 2 army groups, if possible, here to strike against Georgia or Tbilisi. As you can see here, we're trying to crack open the Persian defences in one go, if possible. We're trying to sandwich them, squeeze them in from north and sort of east, as it were. But we call this north and south. Try and trap them in a sort of a super canai, this giant encirclement here. But they are sat prepared, ready for this. They do have significant quantities. The quality of their troops isn't that impressive, but the quantity they have is vast. Now we have these gentlemen being able to move up, so I think we're going to start moving these up to the front lines as well. There's absolutely no point in keeping them here and not doing anything with them. Let's just move them up. And I do believe they have come from, indeed, Ankara here, which is, again, is another really formidable production centre for us. We've also got, I mean, look at that. That is an absolute joy. Now we are putting together a force here of incredibly potent, and I mean, look at these forces. I mean, look at this army. If that does not make you weep with joy, nothing will, my friends. I mean, that is a staggering army. We really have, oh my goodness, we've even got the Zagreb cannon in this one. That is a wonder. Now, we are possibly going to be moving towards striking against, it was either Britain or the Council, I believe, had asked for us to move in and aid Spain. Now, let's have a quick look here at the Prussians. Now, the Prussians' allies are Persia. That's what we've got to be careful of. If we hit Persia, there's every single indication that the Prussians would actually move to sort of aid their allies here. So we were actually gearing up an army group here to actually put in or around, I believe, Spanish territory to prop up the Spanish, as it were, because they really are feeling the pinch from the Prussians. The Prussians are at war with Spain. Yeah, they're at war with Spain, and although they control the vast majority of the Mediterranean, their empire is nowhere near the significance or the proportions of the Prussians. My word, the Prussians have absolutely been prolific. We're also allied with Sweden, but this does concern me. Why is this army here, and why have they put such a powerful fleet here in the Baltic Sea? We've actually moved an army up here, with one of the great Tsar cannons here to actually just shadow it. We're just going to shadow this army here, just in case they decide they want to move against us here. We're not going to, by any means, my friends. We'll move this rake from here. Now there is a large contingent here of Norwegian ships and armies. And again, why are they here? But that's not going to be our main concern at the moment. We're actually going to send for a Raker spy down here. Now Norway has a single island left, a single region, and that is this region here of Reykjavik. What's the navy like here? All fourth rates. They've got an army here as well. If we were to remove Norway, it would... Denmark. Norway. Denmark, my friends. I do beg your pardon. You're probably all screaming at this, saying it's Denmark, Mala, you fool. And you're right, my friends. It is indeed Denmark. Where Norway come from, I have no idea. Denmark. We do have trade with Denmark as well, and they have a lot of money coming in. Denmark are friendly with us, which is fine at the moment. Italian states are indifferent. I wonder if we can get trade with them. Let's quickly look here. Nope, they're not interested. That's absolutely fine. We're at war with a huge amount. Now, Persia is actually friendly with us, but we have to do something about it. The council has been pushing us to deal with Persia, so we can actually move up and bring ourselves closer to what will be our ultimate goal, which is going to be India. But that will be a significant operation. It really will. There's also Ceylon here, which is controlled by rebels. Now that would be a wonderful forward operating base. It really would. Britain has Cuttack and Bengal under its grip as well. As you can see, the British influence really does spread fast and wide. Now we do have... look at that, they've got rebels down here as well. Interesting to know, because they're quite clearly struggling here with some and they've look at all these forces they've got here. And why is there a Mughal army here? This is disconcerting. They do have huge amount of forces. I think we're going to continue pouring forces into the area here. We're going to make sure that once we hit them, we hit them hard. I think what we'll do is reinforce. Once this army has a full complement, we'll actually send this army to join this army here. We're going to hit Azerbaijan and try and cut the empire in half. We'll strike out directly north here, from south to north, and hit them here, heading for the Caspian Sea, heading for the coast here of the Caspian Sea, and cutting the empire in two. And then at the same time, we've got Baghdad. Baghdad can hold out against these. I'm pretty sure it can. Yes, indeed it can. Baghdad has a wonderful garrison, it really does. But again, that's the risk we've got to take if the operation is to succeed. They do have a huge amount of forces down here on the coast of the Black Sea. But again, we're just going to be playing it very, very calmly. We don't want to tip our hat yet, just yet. If we give away our operational integrity here, could be compromised. Now we're at war with St. John, the Knights of St. John here. And we cannot allow them to unleash these forces upon us. And they would cause havoc. I know there's been a call for us to take Malta. We could actually use these forces here to take Malta, but again, I'm not sure we'd be able to get onto the island yet, because they of course got we need access to the port, and the port is covered by this army, so I don't think we get there. Now, what is the relationship with Rome here? They're indifferent with us, but who are their allies? Prussia and Venice. I wouldn't mind to take Prussia here, but again, Venice is on the doorstep, and so is Prussia, and that's why we've absolutely thrown a huge amount of force here. Military assets have been placed in Vienna and indeed in Hungary. As you can still see, we're still pouring money into this region. We might even try to upgrade and put in improved settlement fortifications here. But as you can see, if the Prussians decide to join the Persians once we go to war with them, then we are going to be looking at a huge fight. There's even Persian force here, which will cause us havoc. but we do have this fleet here guarding it, so we're guarding the Gibraltar Straits here. Look at that, that's a magnificent fleet, it really is. What an armada that is. We of course have got our allies here of Spain. Hopefully Spain can get its act together. We are pouring as much money as we can into Spanish coffers. As you can see, where's Spain's amount coming in here? It should be here. This Spain, 2,297. Spain is only bringing 2,297 here. That's not a lot, is it? Let's be honest. Imagine they're getting nearly 7,000 here. They don't really have a huge amount of income considering the territories they control. Mind you, they've been hit. Prussia is hitting them here as well, in Nice. So again, they're up against it, really are up against it here. And of course, with the access here that Prussia has from France into Turin, into the upper lands here of Italy, that's going to be difficult for them. Anyway, I think we've got we've researched every single thing we can here. We really are at the zenith of our powers here. We've got Egypt. A number calling for Alexandria to be converted from a major fishery into a port. Some were very, very disgruntled. This was actually a fishery, so we're going to do that, my friends. We're going to make this into a full port. It was one of the most important trading ports in the world at one point. We are upgrading everything we can here as well. All cities are having a huge amount of money put into them. We might even get some settlement fortifications as we can here as well. I believe Baghdad will probably... Yes, we've got settlement fortifications in Baghdad as well. So we're making sure that before we attack Persia, these fortifications are ready. Otherwise we'll be fighting in the open without any protection here around Baghdad. I believe we could probably put Armenia and some fortifications around Armenia as well. It's going to take 4 turns, but that'll give us time to sort ourselves out. Many of the major nations are gone. They've been vanquished by ourselves or by our allies or our enemies. As you can see, we're very friendly with everybody here. So any war that comes along is going to turn a huge amount of people against us. Britain, see, they're allies of Prussia as well, and the Mughal Empire. Mughal Empire is very friendly. We're okay with them. Prussia, but Spain is very friendly with us indeed. Can we does Spain have all the technology? Yes, they do. That's fine. They're only mighty and rich. So as you can see, I think they might be struggling under the onslaught from Prussia. Let's end the turn, my friend. Quick look, we got 38,000 coming in, not bad at all. We'd like to get this tax income up to cover at least 200,000 of the army upkeep. As you can see, we've spent a copious amount of money in our armies here. Absolutely huge amount. And we really have poured every single gold coin we can into the economy. They're bustling at the moment, but we still can improve it here and there. We can still tinker, we can still refine a number of our institutions to make them much better. We do, as you can see, we do need to get a global trading company from here. We've got one coming from here as well, which is 4,980. Now that's a fishery here. We could have... Yeah, that's from Venice as well. Right, let's end the turn, my friends. Britain, Spain. Remember, if we attack Persia, or when we attack Persia, should I say, that is going to shake the very foundations of all the alliances we have and the very fabric of the world at the moment. Because remember, everything has that fine equilibrium, that balance is currently okay at the moment, where everybody's happy with one another. Once we attack Persia, that's going to change completely. It might even change everything for good. So we have to make sure that everything is absolutely meticulously planned here. We simply cannot jump into a war on one front and then have another front opening up on the other side of the world, and we're not being prepared for it, because you can see that Prussians can more than match our military might. So it really is vital that we therefore keep ourselves and keep our territories absolutely guarded the finest. You can see, look at that, they're moving significant forces. This is, yeah, we've got to keep an eye on Persia here. Now, as you can see, Denmark is gearing towards something here, but to what? Plot thickens, my friends. Plot thickens indeed. Looks like winter has suddenly dropped. Yes, it has. Look at that, how cold it is here, my friends. It is brutally cold here. We have finally brought Moscow under control. For a long time, the sort of the lower class was not happy with the changes we've made to industry and that. They really were on the brink of rebellion, but they have come around to the idea now that the money and the goods are flowing in quite freely here. Plus one happiness ability, that's fine. We invested a huge amount here in our naval facilities. Good grief. Look at that fleet. Nothing short of majestic. Oh, look at that. We really do have some wonderful fleets coming together. And remember, we're still far behind the likes of Britain, Spain, Prussia in terms of the fleets. That's why we started investing quite heavily in our fleets here. So we've got a lot in the Baltic, a lot in the Mediterranean, exactly where we needed to be. We've got a lot of steamships here as well, which we have put into production here. We'll probably some more as well. Mesopotamia has seen a huge boost here. As you can see, this army here. I think we can probably move these gentlemen up to here as well. We are going to be aiming for Azerbaijan. We'll look to put one more regiment in. Now, it's Puckle gun. I think we put a Puckle gun in here. Just, I remember the council saying use a Puckle gun, Let's see what that is like. So we can actually use that. We do have the cuirassiers, which are proven a wonder. They really have. Oh, look at that. Again, we can upgrade here. I believe that Mosul was a college, which we did convert after our... Aha! Global Trading Company. Again, we have to invest in our economy as well, wherever we can. Got a number of fisheries here as well. But I believe we need to invest here in Egypt in a trading port. Alexandria was, as the council has rightly pointed out, a huge trading point at one part. We do have some Basra here as well, but I think we'll just send the gentleman up to here ready, using the road network, which we have fully upgraded. The road network has been fully upgraded, and it proves dividends. Now that we have that infrastructure in place, we're able to move our armies much quicker to the front lines. But remember, in this whole region we've got, from Armenia all the way down here to the Persian Gulf, the only major production facility we have within maybe 1,000 kilometers of the next major production is Baghdad. If we lose Mesopotamia, it will effectively mean these armies are isolated without reinforcements. The nearest reinforcements will be coming from Syria, and that is, you know, you're looking at nearly probably 1,500 kilometers for an army to travel through, you know, the sort of the desert, as it were. Almost, it is almost unbelievable the distance that we'll be covering here. It really, really would. So we have to be absolutely on the ball here that we don't lose Baghdad. I cannot stress the significance of Baghdad for us. It is vital. Let's just make sure that we've got everything covered here in our economy. We cannot allow even for one village, one city to have anything left over here. Look at that there. 10,000 in there, not just yet. Fully upgraded here. That's it, look at that. 63,000 of our trade goes in through here. That's why we've sent in this fleet here. And we've also got this fleet here being put together. And to that end, I think we will actually increase it. Now, do we have our... Oh, we do. We should have the Rostalav here as one of our, sort of our admiral ships, as it were. I do believe we do have a number of other ships available to us as well. Oh, look at that. Let's have a look here. Did we have... There it is. They must already be... Yes. They must already be in situ. But where good? There it is. Look at that. Oh, ho, ho, ho. It's an absolute joy, sir. Now, we've got these armies moving, these forces here as well. We'll put them here. What have we got here? We've got nothing being put in here in Istanbul. Again, an absolute key, essential hub. We're going to put some guns, our fire support. We shall also put sharpshooters. Hussars are good as well. I think we'll have some hussars and some cuirassiers. We're going to make this a really sort of eclectic army, should I say. Just a little bit different. Maybe the composition will be a little bit different than we normally see. We've got look at that, Tsar guards. I mean, please look at the sheer brilliance of these. We've got blunderbuss shotgunners. We're gonna change it up a little bit. This army here. It'll be a little bit off the cuff, as it were. Now, what do we need here? Should we get another trading port? Mind you, that's not really good. I think we'll go for a shipyard. Oh, we had a shipyard here. We'll go for a trading port. Let's see if we can improve any more of our outgoings here. We won't spend that money there just yet. What have we got coming in? 37,000. That's actually dropped. I think we'll start putting more troops being invested here in Kiev. I mean, look at the amount of troops we can build from Kiev here, or recruit here from Kiev. Absolutely wonderful. Let's start putting another army into the field here. We've really got to cover all our bases here. We'll have some additional foot. Ho, ho. And some 24 pounders. Actually, we'll wait for that. Once we move, we have to make sure we've got Bosnia and indeed Croatia, which is on the front line here. And we're at peace with Venice, but for how long, dare I say? That's an excellent army. That'll hold out. We could even put... I think we'll have settlement fortifications here in Croatia as well. Now, these, yeah, I think so, because this effectively is a frontline city. But, yes, I think we'll have it here. Just in case the Venetians and indeed the Prussians strike down here and bypass these forces here. And we're also going to earmark Armenia as a similar. That's also going to have settlement fortifications here next turn. We're going to make sure this is going to be a front-line sort of town, as it were, with full settlement fortifications even. If we could just break these defences in one go, it would be absolutely wonderful. Look at that! Look at that general here. But that we could supersede that. I think what we will do is we'll earmark this army. Look at that! This army here will actually deal with this army, and then the remainder of this sort of army group here will move forward into. Look at that! We need to get these gentlemen up to full strength as well. There's no point in having sort of half an army here, especially with a great gun here and Russian Ural Cossacks. So it looks like that Moscow's going to have to send additional forces down here. That's going to include cuirassiers. Right, let's end the turn again, my friends, and see what happens here. The spies moving into position. Spain. Can Spain hold out against this, the great behemoth here that is Prussia? Although it doesn't look much here on the sort of the overall map, believe me when I say the power they've got packed into those lands there is formidable. I wonder if Spain is gearing up towards some kind of operation against the Prussians. As you can see here, that would be a joy to see, but I'm not sure they have the fortitude with which to do that just yet. Prussia, I mean, Sweden just doing a merry dance there. Now this is concerning, because why would they want Norway? Are they going to start putting barriers in the way here? They want those two there. There's not a chance. Yeah, let's hope you don't live to rue the day either. Because if you do push our hand, we will strike with great veracity, sir. The Inuits are putting together quite the force here. Plot thickens. Soaked in claret. Oh, mine is wonderful. So, quite clearly... we can upgrade these to commercial base in here. These can also be upgraded here as well. These ports here, let's try and get every gold piece we can out of what we've got here. The Ukraine, now that was a fast turnaround. We could hit Minsk here from here with these armies. So what we will do is we'll put together a small strike force here. Homyel would be our first strike, but again we would just head straight for... We've got Babrusk here, and then Minsk would be our ultimate goal here. We could also push in using this army group here, striking really hard against them. Keeping our sort of that mail fist in one position here. But ideally, before we do anything else, we do need to make Armenia a frontline city with settlement fortifications. And we also do need to increase... It's going to take a while for them to get there, but look at that, because we've got the roads upgraded, they travelled a huge distance in one go there. But again, now we're going to put in the... I think we'll have some 25 horse guards here as well. And we should also put 20 mercenaries. Not for this operation. We can't really count on men who take money for or fight for gold. Oh, look at that. Hang on a minute. Wait just a moment. Why wasn't that done earlier? As I said, every single ounce of gold here must be drawn out of this economy without fail. Even these outlying positions are still providing huge benefit here to the Empire. We've not missed anything because our Empire is so vast. It's very easy to overlook different aspects here. Let's just move these gentlemen up to here. We'll allow the council to decide what's going to happen here. Now we have put together a very powerful strike force here. We do need to add some more. I think we'll actually put some heavy frigates in this fleet as well. I know the number of council do ask for us to add some mobility into the fleet. We'll put heavy frigates in here just to add some... No, gentlemen. That's all we can get at the moment. Athens can also provide for us here, but we do want to finish this army here. Actually, we've probably done this here. Yes, we did. Let's get some cuirassiers to add that mobility. Make this a really powerful force. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Right, let's combine them into one fleet. This should be... I think we've probably got more than we actually need here, but still. As you have one ship left over, we'll actually put it here in Heraklion. Now that, my friends, is a force par excellence. I mean, look at that. That will allow us to hit anything moving around here. We're not going to allow anything to sort of really hit our trade lines here. We've actually got a fleet here as well guarding the Black Sea. We've also got another force. As you can see, we really have invested a huge amount into our naval forces. as per the council's request. Now, do we need more forces up here? That might be needed, because we've had to draw this force off here because they want Karelia here in Moldavia. They're not going to get them. Not for just for Norway. We're not going to give that away here. So we have to be very careful here that what we do. We have to shadow them with this army here. We will keep this army here. Now, why are you just standing around doing nothing here, sir? Let's put you into it. We'll have to put another army together here, I think. And our preparations here. Wonderful, look at that. Now they're complete. Puckle gun, which will be going into this army here. Again, the road network has proven absolutely invaluable here. And now Baghdad is a full settled, fortified city. That, my friends, is exactly what we're waiting for. Because, as you can see, it's quite clear the Persians would strike straight out of here and attack Baghdad straight off the bat here. They do have a lot of forces down here which could be moved up. They've still got a rebellion possibly on their hands. The clamour for reform is getting very strong. Now, if they push themselves into a rebellion again, we might just strike. I know we're taking our time here, and many of you say, "Man, I just push against them." We have to make sure that, because they are allied with Prussia, we have to be sure that if Prussia join their side, that we are not going to be caught on the hop here. We have to have the forces in place to repel anything coming our way. That also includes this army here, which is definitely not at full strength. So that means sending more troops here from Kiev. Let's end the turn here, my friends. Russia will not be caught with his trousers down. Believe me, my friends, we will not be caught in a compromising position. We will simply not allow that to happen. Now, there's a chance that Spain won't join our war, which is fine. We won't ask Spain to join the war, because that will merely drag them into even further dilemmas. Because remember, they're already at war with Prussia, so dragging them into another fight with Persia is not going to serve any purpose at all. If Prussia decides to attack us, then so be it. We'll deal with Prussia ourselves. That's if Prussia does decide to move against us. They may not. They may simply allow Persia to have to deal with the problem themselves, which again will serve us well. And that was strange. That was very strange. Why didn't they attack that force there? Plot thickens. Management, that's fine. I mean, look at that. Oh, that's a joy to see there. Let's go to Kiev. Let's make sure we've got everything here. We're trying to put a number of armies together here along the border. Let's put a general in here. There should be a general in here as well. What do we need in here? We've got 3 heavy guns. We get an additional gun, and we need infantry. We're going to get an additional cannon. £24. We're also going to go for line infantry here. We'll try and make this a powerful strike group here as well. Let's just move them slightly closer together here, because we could actually move towards Warsaw or Poland here if we could with the strike group. We're pinpointing our targets here. That's excellent. That's almost done there. Frontline fortification. And these gentlemen here also need to be upgraded here. We need all of our forces to be at full combat strength. Now we're going to need infantry here as well. going to be a huge drain on our resources, it really is. Malia. Excellent. Now, let's make this. We mustn't leave this. We mustn't leave Istanbul either prone to an attack, because they could just simply launch an attack from wherever they want here against us. Prussia. Mind you, we do have pretty much all the thing. Everything is sealed off. I don't think Prussia even has access to anywhere along the Adriatic or the Mediterranean. I know they don't. And they do here, beg your pardon here, Marseille would actually be the one place where we'd have to seal that off there, Marseille. And what we'll actually do is we'll actually move this ship or fleet to here. So we guard not only Istanbul but also the trade route we have here in Odessa. Now let's put a general in here. What do we need now? We need infantry. That's already been taken care of here in the Ukraine. We've got these forces in Moscow, which will definitely have to be moved down here. That's a long way down to come, that is. That Persian fleet there is not good. They could strike against this port here, and they could also move forces in and land against any of our assets here. So I think it's probably best if we actually make sure this army here, or should I say this garrison here, is well defended. Look at that. Another port. Thank you, my friends. The council's proposal has once again proved invaluable. Nothing here, so we're not getting anything from here, but here is going to be huge. This trading port here is going to add significant value here. It really is. Tax levels are low here, which is good. So growth is going to be absolutely booming here. As your food shortages are a problem. Oh, look at that. We haven't upgraded this either. Look at that. That's an absolute scandal, sir. Now, what about Jerusalem and Damascus? Are they fully upgraded? Yes, they are indeed. We could actually get a fortification here, I think. Fortification here in Syria, here in Damascus, would do us well. Ah, excellent. Now, what do we need here in this army here? Well, we definitely need a general. We're also going to need infantry. We don't have anything at all in the front lines here. We've got these gentlemen being recruited here, which is absolutely fine. I think this is going to be the final phase before we actually push against Persia. I know it's taken a long time, but we will not compromise on the security of the empire. We're actually put another army together here to defend Baghdad. We cannot lose Baghdad. It is a crucial hub. We do have here, we have an army group, and we actually probably need to get to there. Look at the firepower here. got this force here in our way. We could take Esfahan probably straight off the bat. We could probably divert one force to deal with these, which will probably be this army here, I expect, with plenty of cavalry. The rest will be moving against the city, particularly this one here, which will probably be the army that will besiege the city. Especially with that firepower it has available there to itself. This is probably going to be the final episode before we move against them. That's why we have to be absolutely make sure we've got every base covered here, my friends. And then we can move on. Almost done here. Let's get some more infantry here. Good grief, we've got so many options. It is fabulous to have so many options, but it's also a little bit daunting sometimes. But it's these armies here. What do we do with these armies here in Greece? These two armies here are absolute, the elite, the most elite armies you could possibly find. What do we do with them, my friends? That's what the Council's proposal is going to be here. The Greek armies are vitally important. Why have you not got a full complement, sir? Looks like some of these need to be upgraded as well and updated. Yes, we've got them on the way. That's absolutely fantastic. Alright, let's end the turn again. We're just keeping an eye on Venice here as well. But ideally, I think it's probably best if we do actually keep an eye on what's going on. No, actually, they have to go all the way around. So, no. We'd have to go all the way around here to see what's happening here. Now, they're still being hit here, Spain. This is not a good look for Spain here at all. I really do hope they get their act together. Prussia's got 53,000 coming off that trade line there. Alright, let's end the turn. Do we strike against Britain with those armies? We could even hit Britain with those armies we've got there, although we're friendly with them, but then again, that would bring the whole wrath of Britain down upon our Caribbean holdings. Now what is Spain going to do here? Don't be silly, Spain. What are they gathering for, Spain, here? They didn't hit those rebels at all. That is unusual. Ah. Now they're starting to gather their strength here, the Persians. Excellent. Right, let's keep that going here. 6,000 here for the cloth mill. We don't have any fortifications here at all. 32,000, that's dropped significantly here. But I think we'll have Egypt as well as settlement fortification. We're going to fortify all of our main settlements and our main cities if we can. There's almost not, no, that's not. If we're going to war, let's do this properly. Oh, that's a significant amount of investment. Yes, wonderful. Well, the Ukraine has seen a massive influx there. Right, what do we need to complete this army here? Yeah, I think we'll send all of these. We definitely need howitzers. Let's recruit from here. We'll do some cuirassiers. 3 cuirassiers. We also need small line infantry. going to take a couple. It's going to take at least another month or so for them, for that force there to arrive at this army here. We need a general before we do anything else as well. What do we have moving in here? We have guns. We need cavalry. No, we have cavalry. We got Cossacks. So we're gonna have a lot of guns here. We need infantry. Can we get infantry from anywhere else quicker? No, we can't. What about Cherkassk? Yes, indeed we can. So we're only 2 here at a time, but still, let's go to Moscow again and let's dip into the reserves we have in Moscow. Oh my goodness me, look at that there. What a force. Oh, this is looking wonderful here now. And to that end, I think we move them up to the front lines here. Just to cover Vienna here. Let's just seal off all the fronts here. 2 distinct commands, but they both can interchange. As you can see, this army here is the linking force that links the 2 regions, the 2 armies together. We have a real magnificent set of armies here. How long yet? 1 more turn until we got Croatia sealed off. Is everything at full capacity here now? Infantry, and there it is. 4. That army is now complete and ready for orders. I think we'll move them down to here. It's a little bit, eclectic and eccentric even. We've got to make sure now that Istanbul is fully secure. So avoid having, the best setup of fortifications and then not having an army to defend it with. I think we'll have howitzers. They're usually the best defense. No, actually, do we have mortar? Indeed, we shall have mortar. The council usually is absolutely an avid mortar supporters here, and we'll have some line infantry. Excellent. But my friends, I think we're going to end this episode here. I believe the next episode we will actually move in against the Persians. We're going to make and move against the Persians here. Actually, let's increase it. We need guns here. And that, my friends, is where we're going to end this episode here. So we are going to be moving against the Persians next episode, either at the start or maybe towards, maybe the end of next episode. We're going to be moving against that, and that invasion, that attack against Persia is going to take place. But again, my friends, all of your support, all of your proposals will be absolutely vital, my friends. What do we do with the armies we've got in Greece here, especially this army that's moving up here? Sorry about that, my friends. Phone call. As I was saying, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please keep your comments coming down below, your proposals and plans. Where should we attack first in Persia? What's the sort of strategy you'd like to see unfold when we attack them? If Prussia does decide to join sort of Persians on their side, where would you like to see us attacking if that does take place? Again, keep your proposals, your plans, your strategies, everything coming in, my friends. Please don't stop, because they really are absolutely vital to all campaigns. But I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, my friends, once again, keep those comments coming down below. Whatever you're doing, please be safe, my friends. But until next time, bye for now.